Starting on Monday of this week, and probably, according to the judicial calendar, going through the end of next week, Rudy Giuliani is facing the disciplinary hearing with the Washington, D.C. bar. Now, Giuliani has had his law license, suspended by the D.C. bar since 2021 due to the frivolous lawsuits that he filed attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election. And this week, as I said, started the disciplinary hearing where they determine whether or not to reinstate his law license or go ahead and permanently revoke it, which would prevent Giuliani from ever practicing law in Washington, D.C. ever again. But more importantly, giving the green light to other bar associations across the country to do the same thing. And immediately when these hearings started on Monday and then continuing through yesterday, Tuesday, things went off the rails for Giuliani very quickly. The first thing that happened on Monday was when they went to a break and Giuliani didn't realize his video was still running because they're doing the whole thing via Zoom. He looks to his lawyer next to him. He's like, "Hey, I just realized I'm wearing 2 watches today." Rudy Giuliani got up that morning, he put on a watch, and then he grabbed another watch and put it on next to it and didn't know that was happening. So that's a giant red flag, by the way, for mental health. This is not to make fun of him. That's a symptom, if you ask me. So maybe that's something a professional needs to take a look at, or Giuliani is really just that stupid. I don't know, but that seems like a problem. But then, of course, things really got out of hand for Giuliani. The lawyers accusing him of weaponizing his law license, is how they put it, torched him by saying, quote, "A constitutional democracy like ours does not work unless the loser honors the decision of the voters." And they brought this up as part of their claim that Giuliani was attempting to effectively toss out the votes of 7 million Americans from the 2020 election via the lawsuits that he filed. Because based on the lawsuits he filed, the particular things he was challenging, that's how many people's votes would have been thrown out. 7 million. And of course, they were arguing that Giuliani attempting to do this is not only weaponizing his law license, it's subverting the Constitution, it's violating multiple constitutional amendments, and they're making a very clear case as to why Giuliani's law license should be suspended. Then Giuliani had his turn to talk after he noticed he was wearing the 2 watches, of course. And he said, quote, "I believe that I've been persecuted for 3 or 4 years, including false charges brought against me by the federal government." So rather than go out there and defend the lawsuits he filed, rather than trying to present evidence showing that these lawsuits were not frivolous, Giuliani says, "Nuts to all of that. I'm going to claim that I'm the big old victim here and everybody's so mean to me, so I should get my law license back." That's the argument that you put up when you have no real legal argument to make. And by the way, again, all of that was on Monday. On Tuesday, things went even further off the rails when Giuliani actually did attempt to justify his lawsuits. He cited a particular case in Pennsylvania as precedent for why he filed his lawsuit. The lawyer for the D.C. bar asked, "Okay, well, can you tell us what the lawsuit means?" And he said, "Yes, it means this." And the lawyer goes, "Are you sure? Are you sure that's what that lawsuit says?" Giuliani says, "As I remember it, yes." So then the lawyer actually says, "Well, I have a copy of that lawsuit." And it doesn't say that. Instead, it says this. And at that point, before that lawyer could go into what the lawsuit actually said to prove Giuliani was lying, Giuliani interjected and was like, can we have a break? Can we take a break, please? Can we end this right now?" And they did. They got to go to break. But things are going very poorly for Rudy Giuliani. I think that's probably the understatement of the century. He is showing himself to be a liar. He is showing himself to be somebody that doesn't even understand, I think, the real kind of trouble that he caused. And that is going to be a very real problem that the Bar Association in Washington, D.C. is likely going to fix, but we won't get a firm conclusion for at least another 2 weeks. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.